Hello and welcome to wenll's guide for extreme hunter soloing. I'm going to kind of show you some basics for getting started. Starting out, you kind of want to have a tanking pet, so you can either have a bear or a turtle. The turtle is the most common one used because it has the defensive cooldown, or the extra defensive cooldown, which can help on some of the fights.
See you soon. Great to meet you.
Next, you want to spec marksman, and
Well
you're
done.
not going to be
See you
you're not going to want
soon.
to have like the standard marksman spec. You're going to want to have a couple variations. Like for the glyphs, you want chimera shot, uh, men pet, which obviously lets you do a ton more healing on your pet. Feign death is very useful. Scare beast and revive pet not really as useful. Steady shot for extra damage. Arcane shot is one I prefer as well. Misdirection also mandatory to help keep threat on your pet. Lets you constantly MD your pet every time it's off the global, pretty much. So every 3-4 seconds you can re-misdirect your pet as opposed to waiting 30 seconds. You're going to want to be marksman for self-healing. Chimera shot is going to be your main self-healing ability. Kind of spec for getting your pet more focus to let it use more of its abilities, and self-healing you'll also want to spec for silencing shot, because that'll be useful for a few mobs in various places. Bombardment also for various ads and AoE. You'll also want that spirit mend under the BM tree for the just to help increase healing a little bit on you and your pet, because chimera shot really doesn't do a lot. And then for the survival tree, you'll also want to be preferably you'll want to have the extra stam, because that'll translate over to your pet. So you'll want the extra stam over the extra haste, because that'll mean more HP for your pet, which means bigger heals for your pet, and more HP for you, which means bigger heals for you when you use Chimera Shot, and more damage both of you can take. For your actual pet's talents, anything to help increase the damage you can take and self-healing. Thunderstop's pretty much mandatory. I choose greater resistance over the Grace of the Mantis just because I'd like to have the actual magical damage reduction on the pet. Intervenes, kind of a big one to get. I like that one over taunt. The silverback talent as well is pretty useful. Self healing for your pet. It's pretty much less about DPS and more about the ability to have your pet and yourself survive. So whatever you can do to keep threat on your pet, whatever you can do to limit the damage on you, to heal your pet and yourself. Here I'll kind of go over the basics for what you want to do. You've got passive and assist for and defensive, but you don't really ever use defensive. Assist pretty much anytime your pet actually, like, you can tell your pet to attack something, or you can attack something, and whatever you attack, your pet will automatically attack or try to attack. So if you change targets, your pet will change targets. On passive, your pet won't do anything unless you tell it to. You can see I'm using the go to command. It's kind of buggy a little bit, but it's pretty much the best we got. So you just kind of tell. There's going to be lots of times you're going to need to tell your pet to go somewhere. You're going to want to have your pet on passive when you tell it to go somewhere too, just because if there's something attacking your pet will just turn around and attack it if it's on assist or defensive. Here I kind of told my pet to attack the train dummy. And you can see that it thunderclapped and got all 3 train dummies. And then I told it to attack the other train dummy. And that's part of the thing with the threat is you want to have it attack one mob, then attack another mob and another mob. And because the thunderclap doesn't do a lot, and your men pet will pretty much take aggro off from the thunderclap. So in order to get threat, you actually have to have your pet attacking it. And you can see here I'm like misdirecting, having my pet change targets. So you want to do like a misdirect, and then do like Chimera shot or Cane shot or multi-shot. Generally, you don't want to do misdirect and then steady shot just because steady's so long of a cast time. So you'll end up getting like 1 steady shot off, and it's kind of like a waste of a global just to do 1 steady and misdirect. So you want to be like full focus and then just use your instance casts. And here I was kind of like demonstrating, like if that's the main target you want your pet to attack, then you attack it, and then you misdirect and multi-shot the ads, which would be those 3 dummies over there, and they will run over to your pet. So I pretend that those 3 dummies over there are like ads that spawn or something, and I just MD and multi-shot, and they will run over to my pet, at least temporarily. And then my pet just kind of like can use thunderclap to keep them on him, and I can. Another thing I want to make sure I keep men pet rolling a lot. Also, there's for defense. You can see like when I do the if I have assist on, you can see that when I went and did the multi-shot with assist on, he just ran towards them. So generally, you want to have your pet on passive when you do that, unless you don't really care where your pet's positioned or which mob your pet's attacking. Also, your pet has like several cooldowns, which you'll generally want to keep on, not on autocast, such as Cower and I forget what it is, but it's a shell. And those let him take reduced damage, so you can manually pop those. What else? Also, you'll want to set your pet as your focus so you can actually see what's going on with your pet. You can see debuffs, you can see your men pet, how many ticks it has left, all that good stuff. You can see here that I'm setting it to my focus. And you can see I got like 5, 4, 3, 2. So you just kind of want to do that. And that's pretty much it. If you're wondering what action or what my UI is, I've got Omni CC for tracking internal cooldowns and stuff of my spells and abilities. I'm using a Domino's action bar to actually have all my action bars, and I've got recount open, grid, which is very useful for raid awareness, and that's about it. And DBM, obviously. So, thanks for watching. Hope this was informative, and hope this open got a lot of questions answered. That's another thing you want to make sure you feign death a lot too, if there's no mechanics that you have to feign. That way you can just feign and you don't have to worry about aggro. Alright, thanks for watching.